Yeah! Well, to know that the gavel's calling, let's get this session started. Hey folks, grab a seat. It's time to get the scoop. Bakers in session serving justice with a whoop. From sunny Cali courts to the heartland's dusty halls, we'll spin the yarns of trials big and small. Oh, Baker in session, tales old and brand new. Some make you laugh, some will leave you in a stew. Gavels dropping beats, witnesses take the stand. Join the fun, y'all, across this great land. Hey! Classic capers like OJ or that moonshine bust. Fresh headlines steaming hot. In Baker we trust. Murder in the Midwest, scams down south so sly. We'll break it down with grins, no need to cry. East Coast embezzlers, West Coast wild rides. Supreme Court showdowns where the big shots collide. From petty thefts to plots that twist and turn, Baker's got the stories that'll make you learn and burn. Oh, Baker in session, tales old and brand new. Some make you laugh, some will leave you in a stew. Gavels dropping beats, witnesses take the stand. Join the fun, y'all, across this great land. Famous folks in hot seats, underdogs who win. We'll cheer the verdicts, dive right in. Coast to coast adventures in the name of the law. Baker's here to share it without a single flaw. Hit subscribe, don't miss the legal ride. Baker in session where the laughs collide. Hey, how we roll.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, what if any you might be. And welcome to Manic Monday. I think that's probably what we're going to call this Monday because it's been quite a day. I've been up for 9 hours and OMG, this morning was fire. I don't know how many of you, because hopefully you have a more sensible sleep schedule than most people, but last night Aiden had he called it an intervention for Karen Reed. He did spaces with some call-ins, with some behind the scenes look at what he hasn't shared before. We're going to get into that. This is the teaser. I think we're going to put that in the back end of the show because, hey, I got a grift, keep you here. And since you populated the stream, I have a song in my head. Is it I like big butts and I cannot lie. Other brothers tell me why. If itty bitty thing, well, you get sprung. Hey, the kid's awake. Finally, the kid is here. Emspire, that's the way I run, and that's why I'm so busted up. Hey, from Canton, Massachusetts, and Malin, hello, and Plushy. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock here. My normal daytime streaming start time. In a world of see you next Tuesdays, we need more TVs. I don't know if we need any more TVs. I think we have the one we need, and you know everyone word of that song, but not Barbie Girl. I know Barbie Girl. Sadly, all of it is lost now because I changed program. Does my cupcake bring all the boys to the yard? Yes, sir. And they're better than yours. Of course you like pig butts. Hey, Bella Marie. Thank you so much. I ran a comb to it. Now I distracted myself. Don't look at chat. You distract yourself. Yes, Turtle Boy had a spaces last night. I'm not going to play the clip, but oh my effing god. We're going to talk about that in the end. But Baker, you sexy man beast, you don't normally dig into all of that diorama in the daytime. I know, but it's kind of there was certain revelations made that I think we probably need to put in there. The lady crying because she was scared of Aiden after calling him. We're not going to talk about her. She was just a weirdo. Well, we're probably going to talk about her because I just did. But there were certain revelations made in that presentation that made me think, what the fuck have I even done for the last 2 years? I've been lied to as well. And we're going to get into that because I don't have a lot. I am a poor little baker in Dutchland, but I try to have integrity. And I feel I have been bamboozled to say stuff because there was a very, very big PR push for a certain story that made me fight really hard in the paint against the antis. And now to find out that I was lied to, I don't take kindly to people who makes me a liar. I'm like Eddie Guerrero. I lie, cheat, and steal, but I try, even though I make fun, even though I try to be this weirdo who runs a YouTube presentation, I try to be honest. Um, of course, I'll enhance the truth sometimes. No, it's not 2 inches, only in warm weather. But there we're gonna put all of that in the end because I might get a little heated and you might want not to be here because you get mad at me, and which is fine. So let's start in the other end of the spectrum. Talking about being on the spectrum, as you might remember, I covered the Morgan Geyser hearings where they were arguing, hey, this poor little young woman who stabulated one of her friends, she needs to come out of prison because she's so much better. She's not going to be a problem. Oh, we have her under control. We have treated her for the last. Uh, Thank you so much, RHM. I would put Rongel. I would put Andrea Burkhardt. I would put a lot of people in there with me. But I am very, very, very big on my own personal accountability, not to lie too much to you. I have tried to keep all the wild rumors to a minimum. I will tell you when I'm speculating because you don't have anything other than your credibility on these YouTube screens. But Morgan Geyser, who was no danger to anyone, and they just needed to put a GPS track on her, disappeared from custody. She has been apprehended, but let's take a look into this. Morgan Geyser, who in 2014 stabulated a friend 19 times to appease the fictional character Slenderman, was located Sunday night after she allegedly, well, not allegedly, because she did, cut off her GPS monitor and left a Wisconsin group home where she had been a resident, authorities said. Remember, at the first hearing, they said, hey, let's just put her into a group home right next to where her victim lives now. Remember, her victim survived, luckily, by crawling out to a road after these two horrible girls stabulated her. And they wanted to put her in a group home really close to where the victim stayed. Luckily, that was denied and she was sent somewhere else, but still. Yeah. Geyser was taken into custody in Poston, Illinois. So she even left the state. A girl who should have no money, have no access to anyone outside, could leave the state. Before being located, she was last seen in Madison around 8 p.m. on Saturday with an adult acquaintance, police said in a statement posted on social media, which included a recent surveillance image of Geyser. This is her. I think during the hearing, they talked about her. She has gender dysphoria, something. She didn't seem all the way there. Geyser was found Sunday night at a Thornton's truck stop with another person, according to Poston police, who said the pair took a bus to Poston and was both taken into custody. Police later said the person traveling with Geyser was a 42-year-old man with this 19-year-old girl, who was charged with criminal trespassing and obstruction of identification. He was released but remained at the police station, Poston police said. Authorities said they would not provide the man's name, booking photos, or details of his involvement. Geyser will be held until transfer to Cook County for an extradition hearing on the 26th, and California. What the hell does that mean? I don't know why it says and California. The department said, referring to by address to the Criminal Court Administration building in Chicago. It was not immediately clear when that hearing would take place. Oh, at 26th and California. Sorry, I misread it. It was not immediately. Poston is about 20 minutes south of Chicago. The police department said it was notified of the 22-year-old Geyser's disappearance on Sunday morning. Geyser's mother, Angie Geyser, said in a statement to ABC early on Sunday, "If you see Morgan, please call the Popo. Morgan, if you can see this, we love you and just want to know you're safe." In March, Waukesha County Circuit Court Judge Michael Boren ordered that Geyser be released from the Winnebago Mental Health Institute and sent to a group home after 3 psychologists testified she was prepared for supervised release. As part of her release, she was ordered to wear a GPS monitor. Geyser, according to police, cut off her Department of Corrections monitor bracelet and left the group home sometime Saturday night. Her attorney released a statement on Sunday asking Geyser to turn herself in, saying it was in her best interest. So well, she's 22. I won't call her a girl. She's a woman. Chose to go out there on the run months after she was released to a group home. And I'm thinking, that's all well and good. People said, don't let her out because we can't trust her. This girl is loco. This girl is not safe. Oh, sorry. But they still said, no, it'll be fine. 3 psychologists said it would be fine to let her out. Thank you so much, Maxwell. I'll try and keep you as happy as possible. But 3 psychologists all said there will be no problem. She will be able to live under these conditions, and we will make sure the public is safe. Will each of these 3 psychologists face any repercussion from this? I hope they were rattled out of bed when they found out she was missing, and those 3 psychologists were the first one running around with the judge, looking everywhere to find this girl, woman. I just see her as that 12-year-old girl who stabulated someone else. This is one of those things where they will just do the whoopsie. Well, we thought she could be trusted because, hey, we worked with her and she's such a good girl. Even though we found materials at the psych center where that clearly showed she wasn't stable mentally. We had people saying, we are afraid if she gets out. They all signed off on this girl being safe enough to be released because she would be under constant surveillance at the group home. Is that group home going to lose their license? They found her Sunday night at a truck stop or gas station, whatever it was. Um, but my problem is, my big problem is, we see this over and over and over again. Criminals who can just convince someone that they are well enough to let them out is sent out there. People with multiple bad cases behind them are let out in the streets because, hey, let's save some money, and they're good. They act normal when they are in therapy. And what do? They go straight out and does the same thing over and over. Well, Baker, prison is just a profit maker. Well, what price does a life have? And why are this girl's life worth more? Imagine being her victim, waking up, seeing the headlines yesterday that she was loose and no one knew where she was. How was her life yesterday? Did anyone consider her circumstances when they released this poor little girl who got confused on an internet meme, and then she had to stabulate a little girl? It happens, but she's all better now. Bring back asylums, make them secure, treat people good in them. I'm not saying that you need to go back to what asylum was. You don't have to electroshock everyone. You don't have to lobotomize them. But give us back places where we can put criminal, insane people. How many chances do they need to prove they are not safe to put into society? Hey, Squabby. Yes, history repeats itself. You are absolutely correct. Didn't take long for her to flee. No, I think it's a month and a half or so since I covered the last one. I was worried about her victim yesterday. That's the first thought. When I saw it, I said, well, color me surprised. And the next thing it was, I hope that victim has a lot of police officers protecting her ass now. I think the psychologists and the judge should sit in her house and make sure she was safe. Well, this girl, yeah, we did the DSM-5 or whatever, and she's fine. No problem. Did the other girl get out earlier? I can't recall. She got out, I believe, 3-4 years ago. There has been nothing about her anywhere since she got out. When all of this popped off and I was Googling around, there's nothing. It's kind of like that heinous crime in England that I don't think we can talk about. You can't talk about it in England. You can't mention the perpetrators in England. Back in, that's a long time ago. Two young boys took another boy and unalived him on some train tracks. I can't remember if they let him be run over or they beat him to death or whatever. They got put into juvie, and there was a special law made that their names can't be anywhere out there. And one of them did his punishment. No one has really heard about him. The other one is just like this one. He is constantly making himself known as the person who did this. I think he had some kiddie stuff as well at some point, and they spent millions of pounds. Well, do they have the euro in England? I think they have the euro. They spent millions of keeping him away from everything because this idiot keeps going to bars, getting drunk, and talk about what he did as a kid. At what point is it no longer our obligation? At what point have you signed off your humanity where we can't be forced to pay taxes? Because what we saw yesterday, that's an old person who can't get the care they need. That's a cancer victim who can't get the treatment they need. That's a road that can't be mended because we are spending millions, if not billions, early releasing people who can be productive members of society, who goes out, fucks up instantly. That's correct. He had kitty issues. The other one is keeping his head down. Yeah, that I remember. I think what's the Scottish guy name who made the Mad Lads video? Count Dracula. I think Count Dankula. I think he made a video about him. New York prisons can't keep dangerous criminals segregated to keep Gen Pop and CEOs safe anymore because they have rights to not be in solitary confinement. New York would never do institutions again. New York today would not do institutions again. You do have pounds. Yeah, I couldn't remember. I thought that you and I and us were the only one who didn't get into the euro. I think that a lot of people, a lot of the silent majority out here wants change. I have that feeling that that we are a lot of people who think the pendulum swayed way too long one way because now you're endangering us. It's okay that we don't force people who might have. Back in the day, if you were Alan Turing, the man who made the first computer, well, he didn't quite make the first computer, but he is called the father of the computer. He got forcefully chip chopped the bean and veggies because he was a homosexual. So of course we went way too far in the past. But people like this, do they have the same rights as the rest of humanity? It's a big ethical question. And I think a lot of people are changing their minds, even very liberal people, when they see what these people do when they get back out in the streets. And to be honest, how many of these schizo people who run around in the street banged out on fentanyl would be better if they had a good, safe environment they could be in? When all the voices got a little bit too loud, they would have a caretaker. Instead of just being put in a room where they can't be, in a city where they can't exist, and then they move to the streets and start using the street pharmacy instead of using the real pharmacy because the voices gets too loud and there's animal living under the wallpaper. Wouldn't they be better off? Wouldn't it be more humane to give them good, well-functioning asylums? I don't know. They still try and say a Scottish note is not worth the same as an English. I heard that people didn't want the Scottish pound. I don't know. I think it's cool. I got a $2 note from the expert. Hey, Nikki, how are you doing? Long story, but my sister in Australia was in a mixed mental home. There was a dude that would sneak on the female that would start grinding them. He was let out after 8 months. He was arrested after 2 months. Yeah, I I I I see it more and more in my layman duty that these are people who go in and out. They go in and then they go on, let's call it a vacation for a week where they get intensive treatment and they get down to normal. And then they say, okay, go out there. Remember to take your pills because if you take your pills, you're normal. And then they get home and they do the, well, I don't like being on the pills. They make me slow and I feel like I'm not myself. And then they let the pills go and then the voices start coming out of the oven. And all of a sudden they are sitting in a G-string with a bra tied around their head and trying to keep out the aliens. And I'm just saying, if we have to do that every 2 months to a guy, wouldn't it be cheaper? Because we're still paying in Denmark, we will still pay him his housing and his subsidies every month, so he has something to live off. Why can't he just stay at home? Well, he loses his humanity. Is it humane to let them live like that? I don't know. She's mentally ill. Of course she has rights. She has rights. Of course she has rights. But does she have more rights than her victims? That's the question. Yeah, but it's wrong, chat. What did you say earlier? I probably missed you. I, I'm yelling. Hmm. I don't think. I don't know what. Oh, nope. Good afternoon. Nope. Smiley face. Well, I don't know what's wrong in that. But enough of me screaming about people who should never have been let out of prison. Hello, Ultra. How are you doing? And Christine, ¿cómo está? I don't know if any of you know Aiden Turtleboy Carney. He he had a lawyer at one point. He have had a few. A lawyer called Marc Randazza, who is known for his fight for the First Amendment. I believe he also was the lawyer for the Canton 8, and I'm blanking on the name. The lady who was arrested for having a sweatshirt in the no demonstration zone. So he is he's kind of known around the Canton parts. He has also represented Nick Rekieta at some point, and he's a big represented Alex Jones too. Yes, he's a big First Amendment warrior. I don't know if any of you then knows Mrs. Eyebrow, Lauren Michaels Mitchell's Mathis, Lauren Mathis. I don't have a pen like Aiden, so I'm just going to do this. She has started to. You might have seen over on Aiden's. She had that 9-hour cry stream about I'm a victim, and I thought, oh my god, you're going to Barbara Streisand effect the shit out of this situation. Worse than that, as you might also have seen over on Aiden's presentations, she has started to go after people legally, both through YouTube and through lawyers. And I saw on the Twit yesterday a filing made by the Randazza group. It's from November 17th to Lauren Matthias, because apparently she's sending out cease and desist letters now. That's where you better stop that behavior or we're going to sue you letters. So if it's her, not some of her minions, I think she has been proven to be copyright striking people on the YouTube, which is BS, because as Aiden did, he is fair using it. He is commenting on it. He is transforming her project, her videos. So are the rest of the people, but she's copyright striking them. This is one of the biggest problems with the YouTube platform. You can copyright strike me like the fat fuck Twisted Tragedies did. I will have to fight for 6 days to get out of that loophole, because if I get X amount of strikes within an X amount of days period, I will lose my channel. A channel I spent 3 years building. I will lose it until I fight YouTube enough that they will give it back, if they will ever give it back to me, because I lose everything. And I will be in really bad standing. But when I was proven right, as I was against Twisted Tragedy, because she's an idiot. She doesn't understand the law and she doesn't understand copyright. Nothing happens to her. That's the same thing that's going to happen with this Lauren chick. She can abuse the system if people don't dare fight her back and just say, well, I'm going to take the copyright claim. That's okay. But if people then respond to her and say, we are following the rules, and YouTube rules in their favor, YouTube TOS says you can lose your channel. And if you get struck by false copyright striking, why the hell are you not put in prison for 10 days like the rest of us are? Why are you not losing your ability to monetize your streams like the rest of us are? It's kind of like when you had that Friday night out and your boyfriend is at home and you see that big fella over there with the wide shoulders and the tight hips, and he's really good at the lambada, and you think, hey, I really like a massage. And you go home and you forget you have a boyfriend, and then the next morning you remember you have a boyfriend and it's not really good, and someone saw you leave his apartment, so you better say, well, he raped me. If you are proven to have false allegation, why don't you get the same punishment he would have gotten if it has been true? That's the things I don't get with copyright strike. Copyright strike. Sorry, my daughter called me. She did a copyright strike on the victim's family member who was shown pictures of her own family pictures they gave Lauren, and Lauren made a montage of the pictures. And it's not illegal to do that. Good thing Rumble exists. Well, the problem, anime, with Rumble existing is Rumble is probably the worst streaming platform after Twitter right now. It's almost impossible to be noticed on Rumble. Rumble is really bad at setting up. I have an easier time getting on Twitch than on Rumble, which I shouldn't have in a business that tells me every now and again they're getting an influx of $250 million all the time. It's fine. Rumble is for the First Amendment, but Rumble should be for the users, not making it almost impossible. Then people would go over there, and they should stop having all of those shitty commercials, because their commercials are horrible. Oh Lord, is this another Real Housewives of Canton high school drama troll fest? Because in that case, I have to really wash my hair. I don't know. Are we having trolls in here? The only troll I see is Lefty. Hidden true crime is insufferable. Her and her husband, yes. But Marc Randazza from the Randazza legal group. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the thing. Now I can have two screens shared at the same time. Now I just have to figure it out. He filed this letter. Andrew G. Dice, I believe that's her lawyer. Response to cease and desist letter on behalf of Lauren Matthias, notice of non-compliance. And if you never read a Marc Randazza brief before, let me say it's not like your lawyers normally write. Dear Attorney Dice, whatever. This firm has the honor and privilege of representing blank. We are in receipt of your cease and desist letter on behalf of Lauren Matthias. This letter provides no specifics about what blank allegedly did. Is it your regular practice to send demand letters that don't contain a single factual allegation? That seems pretty ineffective. Is my client coming to your client's home? Is my client in the house now? Can you show me on a doll where my client touched you? I mean, what even is this? Is this a mass mailing you just sent to everyone? Did my client accidentally fill out an index card at a timeshare presentation and he wins a free demand letter? You requested that blank cease and desist from any continued harassment and dissemination of altered, AI-generated, or private messages, which you attribute to Ms. Mathis, which you claim violates Florida's wiretapping law. You also claim that this unspecific conduct constitutes stalking or harassment under same law. I do not find any record of you being a member of the Florida bar. Accordingly, it is probably an honest mistake that you have misinterpreted Florida law, but I don't know. Florida law isn't that hard. You really whiffed it on Florida State paragraph 934.03. This statute prohibits the inception of communications or disclosure or use of unlawfully intercepted communications, knowing they were unlawfully intercepted. Again, I don't know what the facts are here since you didn't provide any. But here's some good news. You don't have to provide any facts in order for me to extrapolate that the law just doesn't apply. Isn't that cool? What's this? I see nothing in your letter suggesting that blank or anyone else intercepted any communication by your client by anyone else, nor any discussion of any fulfillment of the required mensas res. It is kind of weird how you could think altered or AI generated messages that purported to be from your client could possibly have been intercepted, as your client necessarily would not have been a participant in such communication. So, without even can I switch this? Yes. So without even knowing what facts your client is reporting to you or you relied on in making this demand, I can tell you that this statute just can't possibly apply. That leaves the claims of stalking and harassment. Again, there's no information for me to go on, just an assertion that blank is harassing your client. I am left to guess as to the method of this harassment. Florida State paragraph 784.048 defines harass as to engage in a course of conduct directed at a specific person which causes substantial emotional distress to that person and serves no legitimate purpose, with course of conduct defined as a pattern of conduct composed of a series of acts over a period of time, however short, with which evidence a continuity of purpose. The federal stalking statute you cite is similar. So look, maybe your client has some legitimate beef. If she does, then you kind of need to tell us what it is. Until then, I guess you can just keep sending letters that say, hey, cut that out. Doing that thing that isn't really a thing until we say to do that thing. I mean, at least that would be funny. To conclude, we don't know what you're talking about. My client is not going to comply with your letter in any way, shape, or form, and we hereby demand that you stop doing something. You have to guess what it is, though, or you are committing a RICO violation. Govern yourself accordingly. I like a funny lawyer. As you probably know, I'm a fan of assholes, and he is a legal asshole. He, this is the way you handle stuff like these weird lawsuits that because everyone is using lawfare right now. Oh, you can't talk about me on the twat. Oh, you can't say anything about me on your YouTube presentation. I don't like mean people. Like what's the real name? Rose, I think it's Rose. I wish Gen X got a little more praise for reinstating sarcasm, by the way. Yes. And I wish Gen C or whatever we are at now, Gen Y, grew some balls. I know we are the first generation who is constantly online, and social media is a cesspool of idiocy, which you could also see yesterday on Twitter Spaces. But people making fun of you is something you have to endure. This Lauren Matthias has put all of this on herself because making a 9-hour video crying about how people were mean is chum in the water for YouTube trolls. I'm not specifically trollish, but hey, even I considered doing a video on her, just laughing of how fake it all was. And again, just because it's not like you, like, just ignore it. The more you talk about it, the more you will get right back at your face because, hey, these YouTube streets they can be tough sometimes. And you put your ass right in slap height. And when you do that, you get slapped. Metaphorically, not, well, I don't know what her weird Peter Griffin looking husband is into. I think he's into Brad Pitt more than her. But stop doing this bitch move where you copyright strike people, where you go and try and take people down for being mean. It's a bitch move. You would never ever do that in real life, but because you're safe behind your monitor, you can be a tough guy. I'm gonna go to Mama YouTube and cry. Or if you're a little bigger and you made a shit ton of money on the Lori Daybell case, you'll buy a lawyer who's gonna send a letter out for you while he's thinking, "Oh my fucking god, are you an idiot? This will never hold up in court." But I make my $2,000. They're mean to me is a you problem instead eyebrow-lady. Maybe try therapy. A sense of humor, feeding some freaking ducks. Yes. Foster's Australian for beer. Foster's is a good beer. I like Foster's. Yeah, but her husband is a psychologist. Yeah. Just like a lawyer should never take himself for a client, a husband should probably never ever try and fix his wife's problem. If I learned anything from my 18 months of marriage is they don't want your advice. And no, it's not just in their head. And even though they sound like it, don't say they sound like their mom. It's not a good thing. Or your brother and dad are lawyers like Lauren. Should know better. Yeah, putting your ass in slap height is a Danish saying. I think everyone understands what it is. It's just if you put yourself out there, some people will take a swipe at you. Freedom of speech no more going to continue to take your rights away in Denmark. In America. Well, there's always been a limit to the freedom of speech because there are some forms of speech that is not legal. Threats, for instance. So there have always been. The problem is all of these people want their specific fifis protected, and they shouldn't be. I get some slaps in the face now and again because I do some dumb shit. Roll with it, stop crying about it, and just move on. Or make fun of the people who do it. It's the easiest way to get them to stop. Yeah, people should follow Randazza's Twitch thread. He is funny. She said she has 4 lawyers. Pathetic. It does not matter how many lawyers, you're wrong. Again, number of lawyers doesn't change the law. And the more she is going to do stuff like this, the more fun everyone is going to make of her. I do his job, he'd be fired in my team, he would be fired within a week. He is a sitting logical fallacy. Insert random fallacy joke here. Oh my. The date is 24/11. It is 24/11. So what? What happened? Today is day 1 of left rotator cuff injury. Wish me luck. I have a long road ahead of me. Rotator cuffs is a bitch. I dare not get my doctor to look at mine. As long as I can keep them and I can touch the top of my head, I don't want them to touch them. I saw something that I missed. No, maybe I didn't see something. Linda is saying, my only 2 cents today is that Turtle Boy was lit this morning, recommending the stream to all in replay crew. Are you saying his bus stop live was lit or his night show was lit, evening show for the Yanks? Because that was my morning show. And yes, we're going to talk about that now. So, yeah. They're never the same. All surgeries, your back, just deal with the pain. Yeah, it's I was told we can't try with your back again because the scar tissue will just be worse. It's the same. I had my nose. They tried to fix my nose 3 times after I got it broken, and every time they had to do more and more to keep my airways clean because there was so much scar tissue built up on the bone whenever they had to break it up again. That's why it's. I've noticed that it's a little crooked to this side. Any light beer is like sex in a canoe, fucking close to water. My ex-wife has a disc clean out. She was 4 times worse post surgery. Interesting. Well, I'm not that bad now. I'm trying to keep moving, keep stretching, keep building. I actually normally I can't deadlift because I'll fuck my back, but I rack pull, where you lift from your knees up, so you just get that last tightening of the lower back. And I did 120 kilos today, so that was pretty good. It's not where I should be, but it's pretty good because my back has been acting up for a long time. Uh, I believe she was legitimately harassed, but don't think she should have done a 9-hour stream about it. I also think YouTube streamers covering horrific cases needs to take a break sometime. There was nothing in the things she claimed was harassment that had anything to do with harassment. Your feelings getting hurt is not harassment. People talking about you and saying mean stuff about you isn't harassment because you do exactly the same on your streams, but now it's hitting you and you get sad about it. Is there sometimes where I feel, hey, fuck it, that's mean? I had a day where I was saying something about a DA run for a candidate next year in Canton. I got attacked in a way that I thought that was absolutely weird from a person that I thought I was cool with. I was probably a little miffed that day, and I didn't want to escalate anything, which is going to be a perfect lead into the last part of today, because I was trying to be the good guy. I was trying to not stir the shit. I was trying to keep all the ducks in a row and everyone on the same side. This person clearly was antagonizing me and trying to get me to have a reaction because then they could cry victim, kind of like what Lauren Matthias is doing. It's a good thing because then everyone will say, well, Baker is a fat old bully, which I am. Well, at least I'm fat and old. But it's YouTube currency. It's emotion. It's the woe me, I'm the victim. And I'm sorry to say it, that is push behavior if that's how you're gonna win your battles. If you are a tough guy who want to come at people and then you'll cry victim when someone punches you back, that's I won't say it's female behavior. You would probably have said that back in the day because there were certain stereotypes. Women are at least just as tough as men these days. So I would just say that's that's weak. It's weak behavior to do that sort of stuff. You thought she was being harassed by a girl she helped. No, she claimed she was being harassed by a girl she claimed. And that woman was just not doing what she wanted. And she was criticizing her. That's not harassment. No one was coming to her house. She made up that she was trying to go to CrimeCon and harass her at there. And it was all bullshit. She sold herself as a victim, but that's the economy of YouTube. When you might not have the success you're having or you had, when you feel other might have a little too much, it's going too well for others. Go in and cry victim. Can you get a few tears out? You can probably get some people back to fight for you. And this is what YouTube is also about for a lot of big creators, no matter if it's us crime tubers, it's comic gate creators, it's politic creators, you will try and have, well, you will not try, but you will get an army that'll sit on the Twitch sweat and fight for you. And you'll get your name out there and you'll like it. And you just have to feed this machine of people who will fight for you. Kind of like we did with the Karen Reed stuff. So let's get to the final part of the YouTube's presentation, because as you all know, the free Karen Reed movement is no more. Karen Reed is free. But there has been this ongoing, well, we still have to fight for her civil trial because it's the same as the criminal trial and we need to support her. A lot of us creators have probably just accepted that that's where you have to go and we are not going to say anything. There was all that crap where an army went after Aiden. All of a sudden, Aiden was he was a bad guy. He was a monster. He was mean to women. That's the new thing. If you criticize one woman, you hate every woman. No, if I criticize Twisted Tragedies, I don't hate all women. I hate her. She's an absolute see you next Tuesday. And I'm not a misogynist because I don't like that. But that's the new thing. Everyone who isn't following in line is disrespectful to women and are misogynist and are haters and all of that. And that all of a sudden, out of the blue, Aiden got slapped in the face with that. And I was sitting here in my humble little abode in Dutchland, just about going out there and putting a finger in a dike, as we do. We have a rotational program in Holland where we have to finger a dike every day. And thinking, that's weird. And I did some streams about it, but I didn't want to go into it because drama is good, drama is money, but drama is dangerously, because drama will come to your front door if you start doing drama, kind of like with the Lauren Matthias, and you will end up losing in the long run. That's why I kept my quiet. I did a few videos where I talked about the economics of drama and big cases, and I never really had a position on anything. I did the good fence sitter thing. I said, well, I'm not gonna, I don't care who's banging who wanted to bang who's an Australian, who's in whose chat, and why the hell are everyone shitting on the big dog all of a sudden. Well, it depends on what words you put in there. But if you ever play Pandemic, the Dutch version of the board game, there's a card of a little boy poking a dike. See? But yes, Microdots is about to release a new video as well, and that's also, I don't have any personal beef with any creators. I have one creator who have tried to I think try to get me to go cray, and then they could use that against me. I've shut my mouth, closed my eyes. I didn't hear anything. But last night, some truth came out in a spaces Aiden was having on the Twitch sweat. When this stream is done, it's not going to be the longest in the world. I would recommend you all to go listen to it, because there were truth put out there that make me angry, because I was lied to. And I'm going to be 100% honest. I jumped on the Karen Reed case because I saw a picture held up in court by Liza Little, looked at it and said, that's not a car. I didn't know Karen Reed. I didn't know it was going to blow my channel up like crazy. you can say Karen Reed made me if you want to make that assumption. It was my ass sitting in my seat every day. It was me contacting people trying to get there. It was my wonderful mods who made sure I had all the documents I needed. I had no help from Karen Reed. I know we all have to praise her and say, well, she made us a shit ton of money. I did well. I did really good. I do well when I cover other stuff. I am amazingly blessed by you wonderful people. So I don't buy that I owe her anything. I owe a lot of my fellow creators who gave me a chance a lot of thanks. Those were the people who made me, if you want to say it. But again, it was also my ass in my seat for how much was it in the end? 20 weeks of trial. I don't know how many hearings, reenactments, talking about evidence, talking to Plevin, reading Plevin's shitty book. And I did all of that because I 100% believe Karen Reed did not hit John O'Keefe with a car on January 29th, no matter what everyone else says. But I also don't believe Karen Reed is an angel, because I can take the product and the producer and separate them. If I like a musical number, Great Balls of Fire, I don't have to think about Jerry Lee Lewis and his very young cousin. That's not what I am here for. I like the song. I'm going to cover the song, and the law has to take care of the rest. Cindy Lou Woohoo. Where the hell? It hasn't updated. Cindy Lou Woohoo. Thank you for 25 months of membership. That's crazy. 25 months. That's a lot of babies. Quit saying your ass. No. Hey, Camper for life. I agree. Yes. Her case helped you, but not her personality. You owe Karen nothing. I don't owe Karen anything more than I owe the Slenderman lady. I see a case, I follow a case, I cover a case. I had a big success because after case one, I asked my wonderful mod team, thank you all so much. I never really thank you. Anime, Valhalla, Jamie, the kid, Marissa, Iris, Farrell, Brandon, Valhalla, did I say him? I took a talk with my group and said, do you think we should try and make a panel show? And inspired by what Ricada did back in the day. And I reached out to Melanie Little, I think Melanie, Mike, Betterow, Ronkel, Brandy Churchwell, and Valhalla was on my first panel presentation. And that made my name get out there, and the rest is history. I've never, ever had one communication with anyone from the Karen Reed team. Well, I talked to Turtle Boy, but in a roundabout way, like everyone else. So I am a little miffed of what I heard yesterday, because as you might know, and I said earlier, I'm really big on my integrity. And when I heard yesterday that Aiden said these pictures that was popping off right after the first trial was real, I got mad, because I have been fighting a lot of antis on this. I did the thing where I said, like Emily says, I'm so relieved that Turtle Boy brought up these pictures, because I've had the original in my phone since before I even knew the Twitch world existed. And it drove me crazy every time someone said they were definitely AI. I have been screaming to high heaven, this is AI, and because they were urged, they're getting in a fight, they are fucking, they are whatever they are doing. I said, no, none of this is real. All of this is fake. Because there was a PR push out there to try and pull this off, to try and discredit the people who put it out there. What's happening in the picture? To me, it looks like she's about to walk in front of someone taking a picture. Would I stop a woman that way? No, I'd probably just do this. I wouldn't do the boob grab. But that really got to me because I feel like I have done a lot to try and put a lot of stupid rumors to bed. I I felt I betrayed a lot of you with the Shaun of the Golf stuff because I let him talk and I didn't want the drama, so I didn't want to go out and tell you Shaun of the Golf was a lying idiot who just made up shit so you would pay him and follow him on the Twit and the YouTubes. And I decided in the second trial, gloves off, I'm going to fight, but I'm going to fight everyone. And I fought really hard to try and say all of this is made up, all of this is bullshit. What happened in that picture? I don't know. But it's not, as I was told, fake. And I feel that's wrong. I feel when you have this ground, again, you owe me shit. You owe me nothing. I don't owe you anything. But if that's the way you want to run your PR campaign, that's okay. Absolutely fine. I will take from that what I will. This was not done by Turtle Boy. I don't know why you believe Turtle Boy was the one who swayed me the wrong way. But again, this is what I'm talking about. The PR system is working fine. Turtle Boy is the bad boy now. He leaked those messages. Remember, he recorded Karen screaming at him, and we can't say anything. Saint Karen needs us. She has always been so good to all of us. You people raised $1.5 million to her criminal defense case. You deserve all the praise. I'm an idiot with a video camera in Denmark. I deserve nothing. You did it. You stood outside in the rain, in the snow. And what's the thanks we get? Apparently, that she is doing what she can to play people against each other. Would it be too much to just pretend that you like some people? I'll go on streams with people I think are the biggest idiots in the world. I will be nice. I'll smile. I'll say, "Oh, I hope you make $1 million," and try not to sound condescending while I say it. Why can't she? She could just do a. She could have recorded a 5-second video saying, "Hey, everyone, I won. Now it's time to fight for Aiden." She didn't even have to go on his show. She didn't. And what he told us yesterday of how she had talked to him about all of you who did all the work for her, it shows me that it's a good thing that I can take the product and the artist and separate them. Because Karen Reed, if it's true, is not a good person. She's not a saint. I never believed she was. I still believe she was wrongfully accused. I believe she's 100% innocent. I think the civil suit against her is bullshit. But I also think that she had a very good PR campaign, and that is crumbling now because the people she has running her PR campaign are not as efficient as they were. And that's why I would recommend all of you going and listening to the Turtle Boy himself talking about what she heard on the backside. I agree. The way he grabs her around her chest, instead of, if he is to stop her from going somewhere, do this. Hey, Karen, they're taking a picture. Okay, sorry. I don't. Maybe it's because that's how we do it. I don't know. I don't like it, and I feel I had. I put my personal credibility on the line, fighting against the rumors out there. Just like I did when the idiot said, "Well, Melanie Little and Alan Jackson is dating now." Yeah, sure. Um, Karen's case was what brought us together, but I truly want justice for John O'Keefe, and the main attraction for me then, and even more so now, is the corruption in Norfolk County. Karen Reed is not the reason we are here. The reason we are here is the state overcharged a woman for a DUI. A DUI they should have put on everyone else who was driving that night. It's an OUI, whatever. Let's fight again. It happens every day, everywhere. But what it showed, because Karen Reed stood up to them and said, fuck no, it showed how all the corruption is rampant in Massachusetts. And for that, she should have thanks. She fought it. But she didn't do it alone. You all helped her. Yes, and thank you, Jemima, for sharing the link. I'm going to pin it to the top so you can all. I think you can pin things, even though you claim you can't. She might not be a saint, but people put her on a pedestal. Yes, they did, because they made her a symbol in a fight against injustice, and that's okay. But I think that she could have paid back. Again, I'm not saying she should go on Aiden's show every Tuesday. I think it's Tuesdays. And sit there and talk for 2 hours. She could have pre-recorded a video saying, thank you all so much for all the help you gave me. Now it's time to get Turtle Boy free. When this is over, and I'm going to do something also, because again, I heard, I don't think mobile might be a problem. Ask Brandon, he's the mobile expert. She's not publicly backing Turtle Boy. That's enough for me to stop defending her as a bad bunny. Well, I don't know if she's a bad bunny. I don't know who she dated before. Go and listen to Karen's drunken rants on John O'Keefe. She was anger management problem. That's my opinion. I said it when we read those texts. None of these people are good people. I wouldn't sit and have a beer with them. But I still don't think she should be in prison. And I thank all of you for what you did for her. But isn't it? No, I was about to say something. I'm going to do something now that probably is a little hypocritical. I'm going to say, because yesterday I said some very not nice things about Lindsay Catooney. I believe Lindsay Catooney is a devil woman. I wouldn't trust her. I wouldn't bang her with Lefty's penis. But apparently her and Aiden's team, as I am understanding his stream last night, are in talks about her assisting his defense team by providing what he claims is valuable information. Again, I don't have any special insights to any of it. I hope it's true. We know from what she has shared publicly that the Commonwealth broke Rule 14. Could that be why Cosgrove all of a sudden can't find a typewriter and get a motion done? I don't know. I'm speculating here. But I have been very, very, very negative about Lindsay Cartoony. I would still not bang her with Lefty's PP. But to not try and antagonize her, because as I understand it, Aiden, again, his team is in contact with her team. I will not be as harsh, because I hope that by all of the karmas in the world, the witch who put him 60 days in prison will end up doing more for his case than Karen Reed, who he kept out of prison. Well, helped keep out of prison, because he was the one who made sure all of us got on this boat and helped her get the best expert she could get, so science could keep her out of prison. What the hell? I love it when you... Oh. Holly Mac, you can't send me things while I'm streaming. I get distracted. Thank you for £1 from Miss Debates. Miss Debates. It sounds like something Lefty does. I think science kept her out of prisons, because that's what convinced the jury. But again, Aiden has a big role in the movement that was behind Karen Reed. No matter who came first, the chicken and the egg, I don't know, the Big Bang. But I believe that there is a thing in the universe called karma. Karma is also forgetting who your friends were when you can't use them anymore. I can only say, go listen to Aiden, and then maybe consider who is going hard in the paint for Karen right now. Are they doing it for all the right reasons? Or are they doing it because they have nefarious motives? I don't know. Explain to me what's so bad about the video. I'm still trying to figure it out. First of all, that there was a big push to claim this never happened. Second of all, why do you grab your client like that when you're out for dinner? I don't like that. You are normally not the biggest fan of police officers. How would you like if you saw two police officers hug each other like that? You'll probably think something. Is there a hearing today? No. This shit blew up in a way I never saw coming. I saw it coming. Someone got boob pictures there. No, she sent me a picture of my own face. Nothing can make me softer, Lefty. As Melanie always say, when the trolls are out swarming in force with attacks, it means something bigger is about to drop. I think if you go back 2 months and saw all of a sudden, out of the blue, a very, very coordinated attack against Aiden, and the people who was close to him in the Free Can Read movement, all of a sudden, all of them got called out. Olivia Nile got called out, and everyone wanted to know who is in whose pants and who's not in whose pants. And I was sitting here thinking, this seems weird. This is an internet pylon. We've seen it before. Just go back and see what happened to Nick Ricada when he got in some trouble. Everyone started shitting on him because, hey, there was money in that drama as well. I did what I did with the Ricada stuff, said, none of my business. I'm going to step back and just wonder why people do it. But there was a concerted effort to paint Turtle Boy as a misogynistic pig who hate women. Funny enough, he probably has the same demographic as I do, 86.5% women watching his channel. Aiden was all of a sudden the worst person in the world. He was horrible. He talks in a way that you can't talk, and he treats women poorly. And oh yeah, He's also, his dick gets him in trouble. Well, it does. But most men have that problem. That was not random that all of a sudden the koalas and kangaroos start jumping. And it wasn't a coincidence which channels jumped on it instantly and supported that. I believe they were asked to do it. What's worse, AJ grabbing Karen Reed or lying and saying it was AI? Lying and saying it was AI, because that's my truth. My trust, my believability, what I'm saying, your trust in me got diminished because now I'm an idiot. I got egg on my face. If you look at the top of the chat, there's a link to Turtle Boy's YouTube presentation. The audio is shit, but you can still hear it. All paid, easy enough to buy your personal army these days. I don't believe these people are paid. I think they, and I'm wildly speculating right now, for the creators who jumped on the wagon, I believe someone might have whispered them in the ear, do you want the access that Aiden had during the criminal trial in the civil trial? You just have to get Aiden out of our hair, because that civil suit might end up being a problem for us with if he gets rolled into it. I believe if I should make up any conspiracy theory, when I have no proof of any of that, that is why the certain creators jumped right on attacking Aiden. The big problem is Aiden has charisma, and the people they chose to attack Aiden doesn't really have that, I'm sorry to say. I don't blame you for being upset. It could a bit credibility. That's the word I couldn't figure out. You can't bring a keyboard to a fight with Turtle Boy. Well, you can, and you can lose that fight. You can win that fight, as I showed when I did the breakdown of what does it normally look like when a big case is done. 80% of the audience will disappear because they were there for the sensation. They weren't there to watch me or MLS or Turtle Boy or Andrea Burkhardt. They were there because that case was the one everyone was talking about. That's why I believe, like Aiden said yesterday, Karen blew it when she didn't monetize it right as it was done. And now she burned her bridges and she's out. Yesterday, a new fundraiser was put up to try and raise money, probably after the Give Send Go was made for the McAlbert clan. And I saw some people were sharing a Venmo that you could send money to Karen Reed. Venmo is something Twisted Tragedy will try and sell you. If you want someone from across the pond to contribute, you get a real fundraiser. This is the Testify Defending the Truth. The McAlberts in 2 days has raised roughly $40,000. Roughly $40,000. Alan Jackson put this up yesterday. They want $500,000 and has raised $3,000 so far. No explanation what this is about. It's just pay it to. You can donate Uh, you can't see who donated. You can share it and you can tweet it. This seems like something because now we have this. This looks like it's a Democrat candidate for Congress who's running, but they do have a text and they have people contributing. This one is a big old nothing burger. And I think this speaks volumes about if it was the right decision that Karen did. I can't even donate to this one. It won't. Oh, now won't. It'll allow me to come in there. I've never seen it. Pay it to is not a website I've ever seen before in donations. Aiden called it an intervention yesterday. Maybe call it a wake-up call. The civil trial will be a very long, boring process. Most of you have never ever followed a trial before you saw the criminal trial. And that was interesting because there was a lot of things and you can dig into it. And the civil trial will be nothing like that. It'll be long, it'll be boring. Most of the meetings will be we filed motion 22A. Yeah, we disagree. Okay, can we set up a date 2 months in the future? Yes. So it's gonna be hard, and it's already hard to run some money off of that case. And if you kick the people in the face who helped you, it's not going to be easier because is Will going to do a 12-hour fundraiser for Karen Reed again? Well, you ladies can make him take his t-shirt off. I heard you like that. Thank you, Holly Mac, for upgrading your membership. Honestly, everyone I spoke to in real life said they believe Karen Reed is guilty. These are just normal people who don't watch trials. Cindy Lou, you know how it is. You watch other trials. Most people believe everyone who. Why would the state charge them? That's why we watch the evidence. Anyone is innocent until proven guilty. And in this case, there was no evidence that painted it in any other way than she was innocent. I love Mr. Reed, but saying that she was going on vacation and stuff does not make me want to donate for her. That's another thing. I'm talking about, no one is talking about, I'm talking about the PR shit because I feel they had a very efficient PR engine running for the first trial. Aiden is really good at what he's doing. Now they have Nick Rocco running it, I believe. He's the official spokesperson for Karen Reed. And I don't know the guy. I've never talked to him, never seen him, never heard him on shows or anything. I know a lot of people like him, but he's not good at what he's doing. He's probably a good hype man or a good second man, maybe a good behind the scenes guy. But you need fire to drum up money. You need interest to drum up money. And he's not going to do it. And you're going to lose interest in Karen Reed because you can't keep a civil trial running for 2 years and keep your interest. You will be next year. Courtney Clenny will be the big case when that starts. An OnlyFans model who stabulated or defended herself, defended her boyfriend to death. Oh my God. Trust me, you're going to see that on every channel. Karen Reed will have a very hard time, and most of it will be self-inflicted wounds because karma is a female dog and it will bite you, just like Chloe did. Well, Cora, the 10-pound chihuahua in Vermont. And I'm glad that Aiden did the spaces last night. And again, go watch it because I haven't been comfortable around a lot of people since the case ended and they took their masks off. We were together for a common goal. We We all optimized everything we could for our own benefit and for her benefit. I still believe Massachusetts have a massive, massive problem in their justice system. I think Sandra Birchmore and Kelsey Fitzsimmons are symptoms of that. And more than anyone else, I believe Aidan Carney right now is the biggest symbol on everything that's wrong in Massachusetts, because a journalist who opened his mouth was put in prison by the state setting him up. So that's where my focus will be. If anything interesting comes out in the Karen Reed case, yeah, I'll cover it. If any spicy trial dates comes out, I'll cover it. But from now on, unless there's anything new, I won't be doing the reenactments, the hey, let's get people on and talk about it. The Karen Reed case, we won. She won. They lost. The civil case, it's not going to be the fire everyone expects. And it's not a fight against the justice system in Massachusetts. I'm not even sure she's going to figure out anything with the McAlberts. I hope so. If we can get the deposition from the McAlberts at some point, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm going to cover it. But the rest of it, endless filing of motions, discussing which law is the most important. I don't care. I don't care enough. There are real people out there who need our help. And again, I'm not a Karen Reed channel. I would. I thought I was having. I think it's Halloween Friday. Normally, I do your bank holidays. I do longer streams just to keep you entertained if you're there. Let's. I'm probably gonna, if I can figure out how to do it. I'm gonna have the links for Turtle Boys Defense Fund and Kelsey Fitzsimmons. They need our help. They are fighting the system. I won't tell you who to donate. If you want to donate to the McAlberts, well, some people also want to eat at Taco Bell. You can't just save them. But if I'm fundraising for criminal trials, because civil trials, that's civil. That's your problem. Civil trials has nothing to do with the corrupt justice system that you need to fix in Massachusetts. But Baker, you're in Britain. How can you have an opinion? Because I fucking watch what's going on in your state. All of you idiots who claim that, oh, you can't have an opinion because you don't live in Massachusetts. Well, I can. I will. And you can go F yourself. But, yeah, I don't give a shit. Your justice system is broken. It's run by the good old boys club who don't care about justice, who just cares about winning. And that's not justice. That's why I will put my effort in where I can help people who are being railroaded by the system. People who could sell a book, make a Netflix deal, make a show at the Wilbur, can go make their own money. If they have the money to go to Italy, they probably have the money to hire their own lawyer. Taco Bell is only for date night. You are my honey bun. Thank you so much. Yeah, but it's just those stupid arguments. You can have all the opinions about Denmark you want. You'll probably be right. Yes, I hate them too. Yes, if anyone wants to donate, Kelsey Fitzsimmons right now is the one who who probably needed the most. I feel so sorry for her little son. I feel so sorry for her. Did she do something absolutely stupid? Yes, she did. Does she deserve what she's been given? No, she doesn't. Aiden is going back to court December 5th, hopefully to have the charges against him dismissed. Go look at the manatees wall, where all of them are spreading the lie that he's banging Lindsay Gattani again, which is a lie. His lawyers is talking to Lindsay Gattani. I understand that what I want, or what I would have wanted if I was him, is not in any way relevant. What's important is Aiden gets out of his legal trouble, because this is bullshit. And if you can use your enemy to beat your enemies, I'm all for it. But I also understand reality of certain things in that situation. But you will see over the next 2-3 days more people claiming that Aiden is Lindsay is his kryptonite and he's back with her. That's why he started attacking Karen. You will see more attempts to discredit him and say he was never for Karen Reed. He was just there to make money off of her. Do I like fruitcake? It depends on what type of fruitcake. Yeah, I saw that lie about Lindsay all over Reddit last night, and I pointed and laughed at those people. But you will see it even more now. And you will see it from the same people who thought they had a right to demand anything from Olivia Nile. Thank you so very, very much for 20 gifted memberships. 20 gifted memberships. That's a lot. She's like Texas. You are a peach. Well, there's no peaches in Texas. So you are a non-prickly cacti. So welcome to Vibe in My Lane, T-Rex, Mariko True, Boston Snicklet, Gabrielle, Samantha Smith, Oh Lala, oh my, Joy Schmeyer, Fire Girl, Sherry Hillman, Kersey RN86, Wendy Gville, Graham, Elizabeth Myers, Malier, Peppermint, Southie Sally, Tony Outback, I don't know, Mesoriayo, Yaya. I think that was all of them. Thank you so much. She's like Texas. She's such a sweetheart. She is really gifting memberships to a lot of people and making sure people say it. Do we know who paid for the travel? Maybe friends. There are people who are wooing her for her story. We don't know shit. Just blindly believe him. Really? I don't care who paid for the trip. You could have paid for a trip. I could have paid for a trip. Just don't go out and say you're taking a trip to Italy and then go ask people to pay money. It's a question about optics. And believe Turtle Boy already. Why don't you believe him? Tell me why you don't believe Aiden Carney when he said that Bill Reed said Karen was traveling to Italy and it's a bad look when you're begging people for money at the same time. What's wrong in that statement? Why shouldn't I believe him? Bill Reed was the one who talked about the travel to Italy. As I said, the next couple of days, the attacks against Aiden will explode. His misogyny, his hatred towards women, how he's an addict. I loved I love the JFK representative yesterday who said Aiden is on Adderall prescription. Yeah, he has a prescription because he has autism or ADHD or what the hell ever combination it is. If you are on a prescription drug, it is because that will keep you where you need to be. Using that against him, I've seen it on Twitter too. I can tell you how Twitter is going to look for the next 2 days. It's going to be constant attack on Aiden. He's not trustworthy. He's banging Lindsay. He's on drugs. Whenever you see that, ask why. All the same people who told you Aiden was the biggest truth teller for 3 years, who will now tell you he's not to be trusted. Why? Who should you trust instead? And why? Diane G., how many bakers do you know? Hey, Aaron. He got ADHD. Okay. I don't know what this is related to, but then the scissoring won't hurt us much. Aiden has been right about most things. Let's just say that. Aiden is not infallible. Aiden is also, and I say this with all the love I can give him, Aiden is a big asshole. That's why I like him, because I like when he yelled at that weird crying lady yesterday, I am effing lovely. Because the goal to call him and then cry about him making you scared, then stop listening to him. Can't be that hard. Come on now. Hey, she can do whatever she wants with her money. The problem is she just asked you for $500,000. $500,000. She just asked you to pay for her civil trial. Maybe don't do that. At the same time, that's what I'm saying. Aiden is not hanging around Lindsay Cartoony. Go listen to what he said yesterday. His lawyers are talking to Lindsay Cartoony. He's using his enemy to fight his enemies. That's a smart man who does that, because then you don't have to fight. Stop believing Krusty. Aiden is not sleeping with Cartoony. You all know this, but you want the sensation. Aiden is not banging Cartoony. But if Cartoony can give him, like we know with the Rule 14 violations, more stuff, maybe stuff where Jen McCabe alludes to not being afraid of him so he can get that lawsuit thrown out, would he not be an idiot to throw that away if he can make, through his lawyers, Aiden never ever be alone with that woman in a room again? Through his lawyers, make a deal so he gets all the dirt on the McAlberts that can be used to save his ass from prison. Again, I don't trust her. Never, ever trust a woman like that. I despise her so much, I wouldn't even let Lefty date her. But if she could send me screenshots that proves that allegations against my client was made up, oh my God, would I use her. But stop believing twit. The next 2-3 days, you will see exactly that allegation pop up everywhere. I saw 3 different people talk about it today. Well, Aiden is back with Lindsay. She's his kryptonite. And where did it come from? Crusty old panties. Anyone who trusts the crust needs a lobotomy. I'm just saying it. The enemies of my enemies are my allies. Well, it's my least enemies. I have no problem. Again, I don't know. Do you understand the word coming out of my mouth? Karen Reed can go on every single vacation. She can go on vacation for the next year. Go on all the fucking vacations you want. Before you go, please cancel your $500,000 fundraiser. Because it's just not a good look. How many of you out there have been to Italy? I was supposed to go last year. I had to cancel it because I had an injury in my leg. I'm just saying, if you're going to run a PR campaign, getting people to pay for your civil defense, it's different when it's criminal. And you then announce you're going on a trip. Wouldn't you, if you potentially had paid for Karen Reed's criminal defense and she's now coming back asking for more money, wouldn't you feel a little upset maybe that she wants you to pay, but she's going to spend 20,000 and she might not even spend it? Maybe her parents gave it to her as a gift, but it's the optics. It's the optics in leaking that. When Bill Reed said that on a show, and then they go out and ask for money right after. I'm just saying the optics are not good. Krusty don't care about anyone else but Aiden. Aiden is her kryptonite. I think someone needs to be blocked. What did Sue say? Who is Krusty? Krusty is Kate Peter, a horrible, horrible human being who lost two of her kids because she would rather be with I believe, an abusive husband and had drug issues. That's why the state took her kids away, I believe, is what the papers say. You can find them on the Twitter. She's also the arch nemesis of Aiden. Well, I don't think he cares about her or gives two fucks about her, but she spends every living second of her life shitting on him. I think Krusty wanted to ride Aiden, but he bravely and wisely rejected her. Yes, she has feelings for him. I am very sure of. Um, because he is a hound dog. That man, and again, most men probably would. If you get offered a little piece of the roast beef sandwich, you might like to put some salad dressing in the middle of it, if you understand what I'm meaning. I know you do. So I think she hoped that she could get a good shellacking. And he said, "Are you insane?" And then she cheated him out of money. She did something. I'm still not sure what the hell she was working for him with, but yeah, she wasn't good. And I think she, in her heart of hearts, she really wanted the Dominator, and that's not a good thing. Well, it is a good thing for Aiden, but don't put the Dominator in that lady. That's not a good place for the Dominator. One thing I disagree with Aiden on, he does not see a potential disaster sending unclothed images to friends. I don't do it. I don't think it's the right thing. I don't think it's my position to tell any of you what you do. Um, You're all grown-ups. As long as it's age appropriate and consensual, send all the mushroom pics and all the boob pics you want. No, Lefty, I don't want your mushroom pictures. Um, I don't care. I don't send them, but it's more because I can't zoom in that far that it'll look impressive. To be honest, even if Aiden has his thing in whatever, it doesn't really matter on the issue. The government are corrupt, so even if he was stupid, would that make it okay? To me, no. Idiots have rights too. Linda, even though I said insane people should go back in asylums, you're right. You can make mistakes. You can be an idiot. You can go do stupid stuff and still be a victim of the state. My problem is just, why are everyone all of a sudden turning on Aiden? Everyone did it overnight. When he started being a little critical of Karen Reed, and I'm just thinking, who is she talking to now? And why did she choose to do that? I think a lot of people are going to find out this won't last. We are going to go different ways. As I said, the civil case is boring. I'm going to cover it when there's some fireworks, if there is fireworks. But besides the depositions, we know all of the stuff that they're gonna file against each other. We saw the trials. You're not gonna get a lot of new stuff in there. So it's not worth my time, your time, Melanie Little's time, Brother Counsel's time, to just sit and read the same piece of paper. She was drunk, she hit him. No, she wasn't drunk, she didn't hit him. We have heard this story for 3 years. So the civil trial is going to be a whole different animal with very, 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 very little new drama built into it, unless we can get the depositions, which we most likely will never see until trial, if they are played at any point, because that's not how you run a case. No. Bad Empire. The Intimidator. I thought it was the Dominator. Mine is the Micronator. Right, no one knows Karen's side because she ignored her supporters. She just makes comments on BS YouTube shows that mean nothing but more drama. Interesting, that started right before the GoFundMe went up. Oh, the GoFundMe went up yesterday. And again, even though Nick Rocco claims that it was her in JFK's chat, I hope she's not that desperate to fight Aiden off, that those are the people she aligned with. I'm going to end now. You're going to go listen to the spacious. If Karen Reed is choosing to be represented in public by the JFK show instead of Aiden Carney, go listen to James Jackson from yesterday. These are the people she would rather hang out with than Aiden, because Aiden has a potty mouth. If those are the people you choose, get a fucking PR firm to do this. Don't listen to the people you have around you because they are giving you bad advice. They are costing your money and they are hurting your cause. Don't have to suck dick on Aiden. You don't have to come back crawling. All you had to do was say, let's fight for Turtle Boy. You didn't even have to say thank you to him. You could say thank you to all the wonderful supporters, just like you did outside the stairs saying, but the fight isn't over. But if you want the disclaimer crew to be your mouthpiece from now on, good luck. It's probably not who I would have chosen, but who am I? I'm just an idiot with a finger in a dike in Holland. No, he wasn't. He was eating a turkey sandwich. I heard it, and he did do H back in the day when it was good. Maybe these ideas are hers and hers alone. Well, then Alan Jackson needs to tell her, you're fucking hurting our trial. Well, they claim they are friends with her. James Jackson said yesterday he was friends with Karen Reed. But FKI is dead. FTB, FKS is what we have to do now. And justice for Sandra Birdsmore. Do whatever you want. Donate to whoever you like. Go listen to the spaces from yesterday. You'll learn more. And I'm angry that my credibility was misused.
I'm Jimmy. How y'all doing?
I know English is your second language, but you don't word
It's
your
my
questions
third,
carefully.
but I'm still better at it than you. You are
the most important people in this case that everybody seems to have forgotten in this room